Welcome to Rhoda 360. Welcome back. I really enjoyed the last episode. I hope you get to watch it. If you've not, please just go back and watch it. Then you understand the basis for this episode. Because in that episode, we broke down the 15 ways that narcissistic abuse physically hurts a woman's health, looking at the cortisol overload to the silent erosion of the immune system and even the heavy impact of physical pain. However, identification is only one step. Step 2 will be intervention. How do we intervene? Be it from the clinician's perspective or as family, friends, or the community in a wider context. Today, as we continue to march towards the International Women's Day, and the theme is Give to Gain, we are looking at the recovery ecosystem. How do we quickly recover? And how do survivors quickly recover? And how do we support people who are recovering? Now, because the reason why we are calling on people and calling on clinicians is because healing from a predator is not just a solo do-it-yourself project. Healing in this case requires a village, people that understand the biology of betrayal. So let's give it a dive. Let's see how we can move from symptom management to trauma-informed care. For decades, like I said in my last video, women have been medically gaslit. You know, when they are told their palpitations were just nerves, or their inflammatory bowel syndromes was just stress. In 2026, we're demanding more. We're demanding a shift. We're demanding that clinicians begin to really factor the HPA axis when they clear us, when they manage pain, when they manage women with diverse conditions. Clinicians must stop treating the stomach and the heart as separate from the woman's history. When a woman presents with chronic fatigue and hormonal imbalance, the HPA axis is usually stuck in a feedback loop. So it's not enough to just give pain medication and tell her to go and rest or tell her it's just stress. There's more going on. As clinicians, you must begin to look at the history of the woman. What would have actually led to that fibromyalgia, to that IBS, to that chronic fatigue, to that emotional dysregulation your patient is always suffering. Right now, some progressive clinics are now screening for coercive control. What that means is a pattern of dominance that doesn't always leave bruises, but at least it doesn't leave physical bruises, but it leaves the body in permanent state of presence, permanent state of movement. The body is always busy. The head, the brain is always, on the go. For family and friends, who are these family and friends that I'm even talking about? Now, I'm not talking about family and friends who are the abusers, be they men or be they women. Because in fact, while we are marking International Women's Day, it is good to remember that the trauma most women face are actually caused by women. For instance, a woman is getting married into a family. The people that really disturb her peace, the people that really make sure she finds it difficult to settle in that family are the women of the family. Why is this so? Do you think she's coming to take over the love your brother or your son was showing you? Women need to do more. So when I'm calling on family and friends today to be a safe harbor for narcissistic abuse survivors or people going through it or people trying to heal from it, I'm not talking about people, men, women who are the abusers themselves. No, I'm talking about men, women, family, friends who actually care for, who actually love this woman, who actually want to help this woman. So if you're a family or a friend, your role is not to be a judge. Your role is to be a reality anchor. Your role is not to judge her everyday lifestyle, her everyday decisions, what she says, what she does not say, her behavior, her reaction, even her non-reaction. Some family members judge anything they see or find about a woman. You are not in that woman's life to be a judge. You are to be a reality anchor. And what that means is that, okay, now the abuser has spent years calling this woman names, right? He or she has spent years telling this woman she's crazy, telling her how forgetful she is, or even how slow she may be. Your judge, the greatest gift as a family or friend that you can give to this woman is for you to say, okay, something like, I saw that too. You are not imagining things. At least a call for validation, a call for truthful presence, truthfully saying, okay, I saw what this person has said to you. I saw what this person has done to you. And I believe it is that situation that is making you feel the way you feel, that is making you suffer this pain, this trauma, these responses. Because your validation begins to heal the brain fog, the cloudy brain that we discussed in the last episode. Imagine now managing the window of tolerance. The window of tolerance is that window between hyperarousal and hypoarousal. A survivor's nervous system is often outside of his window of tolerance. A survivor never, remains in that window of tolerance where they experience well-balanced life. They are either anxious or panicky or hypo-aroused, they are numb or depressed. Sometimes, in fact, most narcissistic survivors actually carry it on their face, unintentionally anyway. So if she's panicking, don't tell her to calm down. Don't also panic with her. You can help her breathe. For most trauma survivors, what they need from you as family and friends is presence. You can even use the 5, 4, 3, 2, 1 technique. Then, or some breathing technique. Don't just, and especially as coming from West Africa, we know how to just calm down. Calm down. It's all in your head. No, don't tell people that. Yes, it's in their head, but it's not actually all in their head. If she's numb and she's silent, she's quiet, and she's in a blue place, don't push for some big life decisions. That's not when to tell her her life is not well organized. That's not how to. In fact, some people go as far as telling people who are numb or who are depressed or who are in a blue place how better their own lives are. That's not the moment to brag about, how your life is best and what decisions you took for your life to be best. That's not when talk about you. Most times at that state, what the survivor requires of you is to provide low demand companionship. Low demand companionship. It's not about forcing your ideas on them at that moment. Most times it's just sitting with them. It's just sitting through it with them. Most times it's just allowing them to vent. It's just allowing them to rant. It's just allowing them to say things that they've probably kept hidden in their minds for decades or for months. It's just listening and being a good person to them. That's for family and friends. So let's look at community. I'm sorry, guys, my camera is a bit shaky today. I'm practically holding it so that I'll be able to shoot this episode. So let's talk about the community. Individual healing is undermined if the community still rewards the narcissist charming public responses, public persona, public image of a narcissist. Look, most predators actually good people out there. They are nice people. They are charming. People love them. They know how to get the attention required to serve, the purpose for that moment. And this is especially true in workplaces and religious institutions, especially religious institutions. Because tell me why you are saying, okay, come in to this place of fellowship, to this place of healing, but then people come in. Maybe a couple comes in. You know who is narcissistic. You know who is the victim. You know who is the predator. But then, instead of helping out the victim, instead of truly supporting the victim, what you do is clap for the predator. What you do is get charmed. I don't know if especially pastors and Christian bodies, I don't know if worshiping, in quotes, the narcissist make you feel like they'll be nicer to the victim back home. No. Look, when you protect the narcissist persona, what it does is it encourages him or her to do more. Now I'm going to talk to women, especially women who are used to manipulating other women who are used to traumatizing other women. What you do when you traumatize women at home, what you do is you're killing yourself. You're actually disturbing yourself. And I don't really want to talk about karma, because it will always come back to you. It will always come back to you. In this 2026, another theme for the International Women's Day is rights, justice, action. And that in your initiatives encourages people like the religious institutions, HR departments to recognize trauma brain as a temporary disability, so that when they do that, they are able to give victims, in this case, women who are victims, flexible scheduling, flexibility to be themselves in religious homes, flexibility in workplace, in work schedules. Now, when a woman who is a NAC survivor is healing, they will need the time to manage the chronic fatigue. They may not be able to wake up early in the morning to be at work by 7:30 or by 8 a.m. We need flexibility. Sometimes the flexibility will help, especially as they are not able to sleep at night. Insomnia, because of the hyperactivity of the brain. They also need flexibility for medical appointments that are like necessary to stabilize their health. In the community, there are other cases of litigation abuse defense, where, because communities don't understand that, right? They gain when they provide legal protections against paper terrorism. What is paper terrorism? The abusers use the court system to keep a survivor in a state of financial and emotional exhaustion. And while I was thinking about this episode yesterday, I came across an Instagram post or reel where the woman was sharing about her divorce and how they've been in court for a number of months now, almost running to 2 years, and she is getting financially exhausted. Now, when the litigation abuse defense is not, when the whole process is not quick enough for the abused person, the victim, to leave that situation, there's exhaustion caused by the money spent on defense, money spent on the whole process of putting in the whole process. There's the emotional exhaustion, getting to stand with your abuser in court, getting to look him or her in the face, and having them narrate those lies to your face just to protect themselves again. The emotional exhaustion of families and friends telling you how weak you are because you cannot keep your home. Now, when we educate people on the health markers, like the 15 health markers we shared in the last episode, we strip the abuser of their greatest weapon. Because when people know that, okay, chronic fatigue or fibromyalgia or some form of tension headaches can result from narcissistic abuse, then the community, the public now begin to look at the abuser. They now begin to, trying to factor what could have been happening behind closed doors. When the public knows about this, all these health markers, they strip the abuser of the perfect family image they always put out there. Out there, people who traumatize others, they look so good out there. They look like the perfect husbands and perfect wives, or perfect brothers and perfect parents and perfect daughters out there. They back at home, they are, I don't want to mention some words here, but you know what I'm talking about. Now, so that the video will not get too long, as we mark the 2026 International Women's Day, remember that when we give a survivor belief, when we validate the survivor's experience, we as a people, as a community, we gain a restored leader. We gain a restored mother. We gain a restored colleague. We gain a restored friend. You give validation to gain a woman's trust in her own mind. You give patience to gain a nervous system that can finally rest. You give advocacy to gain a healthcare system that treats the root cause of the problem and not just a branch. Because recovery from narcissistic abuse is a marathon run. It's like running a marathon on a broken ankle. You cannot do it alone. You shouldn't have to. You shouldn't have to do it alone. So I'm calling on clinicians, friends, good family members, co-workers that are listening or that are watching me today. Your belief is her medicine. Your belief in her is her medicine. You can do more listening. You can do more supporting her. Thank you for tuning into Roda 360. Today, let's keep building a world where women's health is protected and not just patched up. Cheers. And please make sure to watch the next episode. It's going to be more interesting. We're diving deeper into this topic. Bye.